Hey guys, so you may have saw in my last post that I'm going to be trying to rework these knuckles. I came across some other videos online of people breaking down with either the studs that hold on the lower steering arms, shearing off, obviously known to check the nuts and the torque on these on the lower end of the knuckles. And you can see where we're at on the Land Cruiser. Just about got the suspension finished up, and I got one side done when I came across those other videos. So I'm gonna get this side done, and while this may be slightly unnecessary, I plan on taking this vehicle on some pretty far excursions, and I couldn't imagine being broke down out in the middle of some wilderness, poor cell reception, trying to get on your radio, two small kids, your wife with you, for something that I could have done while I have these knuckles apart right now. So what I did is I was able to get basically all new hardware for the knuckles. I got the new studs, which these are just what come now from, these are all from Toyota. You can see that they're an inverted torque or an E torque, so you should be able to get a hold of those and get a good torque on them. You can see they do come with a little bit of the torque kind of piping or thread sealant on there that's going to help tighten them down a little bit. So I ended up getting new studs as well for the axles. So I'm going to put new there where the drive flange goes. Got new cone washers, obviously all new studs and nuts. And ended up coming out to $130 for it all from the dealership, you know, which you get the parts the next day. So 130 bucks, an afternoon of some labor. You figure, what would an off-road tow recovery cost you, 100 miles into Big Bend in Texas? I mean, it could be literally thousands of dollars for someone to come get you and your family. So, money well spent in this case. And I'm not trying to rebuild everything on the Land Cruiser. $130 here, but how much labor have I saved by installing the lift by myself, doing all the engine swap by myself? So I ended up having to go buy a tap. It's a 12 by 1.5, and I've already done the other 3 holes. I have this last hole to go. I'm being so extremely careful because while yes, I want to clean these threads out, I'm not trying to rethread this as well. So I want to make sure that I'm going right into back the same threads. And so I'm just ever so carefully getting this tap started in there and going nice and easy and making sure it's squared up. And basically just letting the weight of the ratchet just barely turn this tap. I mean, it's just barely taking any force at all to get it started to clean out these threads. Just want to make sure that I'm going in there square and I'm not cross-threading it and starting new threads. So I have one of the old studs. I kind of come back with one of the old ones. Make sure that I'm still using the same threads. I'm not rethreading it. Just going extremely carefully and slow with a lot of cutting fluid. Yep, and you can tell that it's the first couple threads that are kind of tight as my kids are dragging stuff out of the garage in the background. The first couple threads are what's tight to where moisture and rust probably got on them. And then the rest, I mean, it's just barely the weight of the ratchet to clean out the threads. You can see right here, as it comes out. Really, it's just a bunch of dirt and gunk, old grease, and it's ever so slightly. Hold on, bud. Hold on, buddy. And so you can see just really it's just grime and dirt coming out of these threads. Ever so slightly, a little bit of metal. So, you know, did it remove some material? You know, obviously it most likely did. But I mean, it is the smallest amount. And you can see how much this gunk is in those threads. And I've just been cleaning the flutes out with a paper towel. And you can see there, it's just ever so slightly, just a little tiniest bit. So I'm gonna clean them out, clean out those holes, spray it out some brake cleaner. I'll put these new studs back in, even though they do have a little bit of the Teflon paste or thread paste on there. I am gonna put a drop or two of permanent Loctite in there. You know, figure that these last ones lasted so long. I'm gonna use the permanent Loctite. You shouldn't have to take these out again. And so I don't mind using the permanent stuff. And I know that I use the permanent stuff, so you would just need heat to get them out. But that's what I'm gonna do. Bought a cheap an E-torque set from Harbor Freight, you know, just for the one side you need. But that's it. I'll get these threaded up, cleaned up, get these done, get this in there. I got the new axle seal and the other side. Bearings are in. I was using, I used that Wits End 2mm offset seal, kind of insertion tool there. So I used that on both of mine. Drive shafts didn't have much of a groove. I took just a little Scotch-Brite and cleaned that surface up anyway. So hopefully I'll get these done. You know, I already put the other side together. I'm gonna see if I can just do it while the knuckle is still on the truck, because I don't want to take all that stuff off again. I'm pretty sure I'll just be able to do it from underneath, take a Q-tip with alcohol, clean the threads out after I run that tap through there. I'll replace the studs with it sitting on the vehicle. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. But that's all I got.